The reason this cheese squeaks against your teeth is the exact same reason it refuses to melt in a scorching hot pan. It is a culinary paradox, a block of dairy that defies the laws of physics as we know them in the kitchen. We are talking about halloumi, the pride of Cyprus, a semi-hard, unripened treasure that has been the centerpiece of Mediterranean mezze for centuries. To understand the magic of halloumi, you have to look at what happens inside the vat. Most cheeses rely on acid-producing bacteria to break down proteins and create that soft, creamy texture we associate with a good brie or cheddar. Halloumi takes a different path. By skipping those acid-producing cultures, the cheese maintains a remarkably stable protein structure. When you heat it, those proteins don't break down into a liquid puddle. Instead, they hold their ground, allowing the cheese to sear, brown, and caramelize while keeping its shape perfectly intact. But what about that signature sound? That high-pitched squeak you hear when you take a bite? That is pure, unadulterated friction. Because the protein strands in halloumi are so dense and tightly packed, they don't soften into a buttery consistency. When your teeth press into the surface, those rigid protein fibers rub against your enamel, creating a vibration that resonates right up to your ears. It is a sensory experience that tells you immediately, this is the real deal. The process of creating this cheese is a labor of love that has been passed down through generations of Cypriot farmers. Traditionally, it begins with a blend of goat and sheep milk, though modern production often incorporates cow's milk to meet global demand. The milk is warmed and introduced to rennet, an enzyme that causes the proteins to coagulate into curds. Once these curds are pressed into their iconic rectangular blocks, the cheese undergoes its most critical transformation, the boil. The blocks are submerged in a hot bath of whey, often infused with fresh mint. This isn't just for flavor, though the mint provides a cooling, herbal contrast to the saltiness of the cheese. The boiling process is a masterclass in structural engineering. It tightens the protein network even further, acting as a final seal that ensures the cheese can withstand the intense heat of a grill or a frying pan without losing its integrity. It is this boiling step that gives halloumi its unique, slightly rubbery, yet incredibly satisfying chew. For the people of Cyprus, halloumi is more than just a snack, it is a protected heritage. The European Union has granted it protected designation of origin status, or PDO. This is a legal shield that ensures that if you buy a block labeled halloumi, it was produced on the island of Cyprus, following the strict, time-honored methods that define its identity. It is a way of preserving a culture, ensuring that the techniques used by village cheesemakers for hundreds of years aren't lost to the shortcuts of mass production. When you serve halloumi, you are participating in a ritual. It is rarely eaten alone. It is the heart of the Mezze platter, accompanied by olives, fresh tomatoes, cucumber, and crusty bread. When you grill it, the outside turns a deep, golden brown, while the inside remains warm and firm. It is a dish that demands to be shared, a centerpiece that brings people together around the table. Think about the journey that block of cheese took to get to your plate. From the mountain pastures where the sheep and goats graze, to the traditional copper vats where the milk is transformed, to the final, fragrant boil in mint-infused whey. It is a testament to the idea that sometimes, the best culinary innovations aren't about adding complex ingredients, but about mastering the fundamental nature of what we have. Next time you hear that distinct, high-pitched squeak, don't just think of it as a quirk of the food. Recognize it as the sound of tradition, the sound of a protein structure that refuses to compromise, and the sound of a culinary legacy that has survived the test of time. Whether it is served as a salty breakfast accompaniment, a grilled appetizer, or a savory addition to a salad, halloumi rem.